To enjoy a distant relationship. First of all, if you are in a distant relationship, you must be able to use your mind, your imagination, and your conversations must be top notch. You are going to be needing these three things if you are in a long distance relationship. My name is Okoro Blessing Nkiruka, and I'm popularly known as Blessing CEO, your number one relationship therapist in Africa. I get this a lot. Blessing, how do I cope in a distance relationship? Some of you, your husbands, your spouses are far from you due to some circumstances. It could be work, it could be anything that could take them away from you, and some of you cannot cope. I will teach you how to enjoy a distant relationship. But because I personally, I've been in a distant relationship all my life, exactly, and I'm having fun, and I love them and they love me. And let me tell you something, love is not just staying with somebody. Most of you actually think that the only way you can show love is when you sit with people. There are people that are living together. You're not in love. Now, let me tell you something. There is a difference between cohabitation and love. A lot of couples are not even in love. A lot of couples that stay together are not in love. They are just cohabiting. They are just living together in the same house. They are not companion. They don't have communication. A lot of people in long distance relationship are more in love than people who are together. Because a lot of people tend to mistake cohabitation for love. And that's what I want to teach you on this video. If you're in a long distance relationship, I want you to pay attention. Number one, like I said, you have to be able to use your mind a lot. Exactly. Your mind have to work 24 hours. You have to put the person at the back of your mind. You are going to be seeing the person with your mind. And that's the reason why I said your imagination is going to be top notch. It's just like when you want to have sex or when you want to masturbate. What do? You close your eyes and you see the things that you want to see. Even when you pray. Yes. A lot of you have never seen God before. A lot of time, God exists in your imagination. When you want to pray, you close your eyes and you imagine everything you want to imagine about God. You imagine Him answering your prayer. You imagine Him in a white robe. All of us have God in our head. That is the power of imagination. And that is what you're going to be needing when you are in a long distance relationship. You have to be able to create memories in your head. You have to be able to create pictures in your head. Your head is going to be working a lot. Anything you want from the person, you have to bring the person from wherever the person is and put the person in your head. That is the power of the mind. When you are in a relationship, you're going to learn the power of the mind. And when you have what is called mind power, you will learn how to focus, because you can see anything you want to see when you focus, whether they are visible or they are not visible. That is where spirituality comes in. So when you're in a long distance relationship, you must be spiritual about it. Yes, you have to be. When we talk about spirituality does not mean you have to use jazz or you have to be religious. No, spirituality is more about your mind. When you're a spiritual being, it simply means you're going to be using your mind a lot. You're going to be focused a lot. So that is what long distance relationship does to you. It helps you use your mind and your imaginations a lot. Then number 3, I talked about conversations, communication. If you cannot communicate, long distance relationship is going to be very hard for you. And most of you are finding long distance relationship because most of you cannot communicate. And I used to ask most of you, how do you want to marry somebody you cannot talk to? Because in marriage, you are going to be talking more than you are having sex. So I even believe that long distance relationship help build your communication, because that's all you guys have. You guys will have to be talking on the phone, making video calls, having long conversations. So it's even help you build your conversation skill, because you have to be thinking of something new to personally. I feel long distance relationship is the most powerful relationship ever. Why? Because your communication skill will be top notch. Your creativity will be top notch because the person is not with you. So you're going to be working a lot with your mind, your brains, and your voice. And it takes a lot before you can be able to keep a relationship with that. So these are the 3 things you need if you're in a long distance relationship. The phones have even made it very, very easy that you can reach anybody where you want to reach the person. You can make video calls, WhatsApp calls. We have different apps that can actually make you reach your loved ones and talk to them. Now, I'm just making this video to change that your mindset that relationship is not cohabitation. Exactly. You must be able to build your communication skills with people, find a lot of interesting things to talk about them before you even talk about living with them. Because when you're living with them, it continues. It is talk you're going to talk in marriage. I don't know what people think happens in marriage. Into marriage to talk until you have an understanding that marriage is more of a communication ground than a sexual ground. you will build your communication skills. Until you have an understanding that it is talking, it is conversations that build marriage. It is lack of conversation that is called misunderstanding. When you are fighting with your spouse, it's because you are misunderstanding the person. The person have not sat you down to explain to you. You've not sat down to explain the person. The moment you guys are able to sit down to explain, you see that everything becomes okay. You are rushing to police station, conversation. You are rushing to court, conversation. You want to go and meet your elders, conversation. Everywhere you go, the only way to settle quarrels, misunderstanding amicably, is by conversations. So you must learn how to communicate. And trust me, distance relationship will not be a trouble to you. I love you guys very, very much. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the link on my bio for more relationship tips. Mwah.